Memory strategies. Memory strategies are ways in which individuals can organize the information that they are processing in order to enhance recall in the future. The use of memory strategies varies in both the types of strategies used as well as the effectiveness of the strategies used across different age groups. As children grow older, they show increasing evidence of metamemory, the knowledge about their memory and how it works. This greater awareness and knowledge about one's memory will lead to increased use of the memory strategies and greater levels of recall. Babies begin life with a primitive yet very useful set of memory skills. The lower parts of their brain can store information, but such storage is at an automatic level, beneath consciousness, and lasts for relatively short periods of time. Young infants, at this early stage, can recognize sights, sounds, and smells they have previously encountered, but such ability of recognition differs from the ability to recall in that the latter requires coming up with a response as well as determining that it is correct. Some simple recall begins to be present in the second half of the first year. As every babysitter knows, very young infants remain calm when their parents go out. By around 7 months of age, however, separation protest is apparent. Then, starting at 8 or 9 months of age, they show signs of a more flexible, deliberate type of information storage, the first inklings of memory as we more commonly think of it. 9-month-old babies can imitate an action after a 24-hour delay, but such early recall is heavily dependent on cues and is limited to relatively brief time intervals. Recall continues to develop over the second year of life, corresponding to the development of the prefrontal cortex and other brain structures associated with explicit memory. Between age 2 and 2.5, toddlers can be expected to remember to stay away from common hazards, provide their first and last names when asked, repeat parts of nursery rhymes, and possess simple event scripts for everyday moments. They can memorize things, but their memory seldom involves the use of memory strategies. Preschool children then can use very simple tactics for remembering in some special task settings. For example, a 4-year-old can be expected to use a marker to denote an object's hiding place in preparation for subsequently finding it. Preschoolers do not, however, use mental strategies and indeed do not typically differentiate memory and perception. In order to remember objects, they tend to verbally name or visually inspect items and use memory strategies intermittently or inconsistently, even if they are aware of how they can improve recall. Memory strategies are used more consistently by children if they are reminded and taught to use them each time they are processing something that should be remembered. Memories then continue to grow longer and increasingly conscious until finally during early elementary school years, children become aware of their own memory skills and begin to use them in a truly mature way, to intentionally study and acquire new information. A child's intentional memory shows dramatic improvement when he can effectively use memory strategies. By age 7, most children spontaneously use rehearsal to enhance short-term memory performance, without planning beforehand. Retrieval strategies, such as going sequentially through the alphabet, begin to be spontaneously used around 3rd grade. In late elementary school, children begin to engage in self-directed use of organization and demonstrate the ability to impose a semantic structure on the to-be-remembered items to guide memory performance. For example, If a child is packing their bag for school, they can go through each part of their day and think of each item that they need to pack. However, elaboration, a highly effective strategy that involves actively creating or presentation integrating new information with existing information, may not be used spontaneously by children until early adolescence. In early adolescence, children begin to use elaborative rehearsal, meaning that items are not simply kept in mind, but rather are processed more deeply. They also prefer to use memory strategies such as categorization rather than simple rehearsal, looking or naming, and use these strategies without needing to think about memory strategies prior to learning.